welcome back to Susan's Kitchen Corner, and today we're going to be making yam balls. They're a snack from Africa, and they're pretty tasty. I really like them. They're easy to make, so you're going to need one yam. This is what a yam looks like. It's pretty yummy. I wonder if it's from Miami. It's a bad joke. Anyway, so one yam, about a pound, and they're generally all kind of hefty. I've never seen a skinny yam. Well, they're out there. You're going to need one egg. You're going to need a 3 tablespoons of tomato. Did I say the right thing? Thought I didn't. And what I usually do is, what you want to do is when you just cut this is sliced tomatoes from lunch earlier, but I'm going to use them. And don't use the seeds. Just cut them out and then chop up the skin, because well, this part you want, not this part, because that has too much water in it. Depending on your tomato, you're going to need a tablespoon of onion. So that would probably be like, here's your onion in half. Careful. So, like this much. It's so white, you can't even see it. So about that much. Then here's the remaining. You're going to need 1 garlic clove. And the recipe calls for thyme and parsley. But you know something? You can always maneuver the herbs around. You don't have to use. If it says one thing, you can always trade it out for another thing. Herbs, it all tastes good. So I'm going to use a little bit of sage, which is here, and a little bit of fresh oregano. So just a little tiny. See, I only got like 3 leaves of sage, and just a little tiny bunch of oregano, and chop those up. So let's get going. You're going to also need oil for frying. This is not going to be a deep fry though. Like it's not going to be. It's just going to be really pour the bottom of the pan to cover it. Water in a pan. Bring that to a boil. Put the lid on it so it boils faster. Okay, now let's move this aside. We're going to peel our yam. So get a vegetable peeler, and it's going to have a very dry consistency. It almost reminds me of, don't forget to chop the ends off. Let's peel that away. Now, if you don't have a vegetable peeler, take your knife and slice it. It depends which way you feel comfortable. Slice it like you would an apple. You know, some people don't like the skin. You just kind of take your blade like this, and just take good chunks off. Yes, you're making your appearance. I hear you. Okay, so let's get back to the vegetable peeler. Now we're not going to stick this whole thing in there. We're going to chop it up into little pieces, and that makes it cook faster, because we don't want it to. If you stick this whole thing in there, it would take forever. Yes, he's outside. He's coming back. Don't worry. There he is. She's having a breakdown. Yep. My cat's having a breakdown.
Uh-oh. My milk's gone.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So here's your peeled yam. You're going to want to cut it in half, whatever shape First, you know, they come in all different shapes and sizes. This looks almost like a squash. So cut your yam squash in half. So you get 2 halves. So what you're going to do is cut this part in half again. And cut this part in half. And then in half again. So lay these on the cutting board flat. Cut them in half, right down the middle. And do the same with the neck of it. Okay, and then what you want to do is, now that it's cut in half, like that, cut those 2 in half. So we got a whole bunch of them. Cut this one, see how this is in half like this? Cut these 2 in half. And these are small enough. So now what we're going to want to do is, since we got them all cut this way, now we're going to cut them this way. So now they're going to look like this. See if I can actually do this. See how they're all, and then down, down. See that? And now the thing with boiling water is, you don't have to wait until it's boiling. It's okay to stick them in when you see those little bubbles coming up. It's like it's like, just stick them in. They're gonna cook. Don't worry. Everyone, oh, it has to be boiling. No, it doesn't have to be boiling. Let's stick those in. Now you're going to want to really watch these, because you don't want them too mushy and you don't want them, you want them just right, because it will affect the consistency of how you mash them up and when you turn them into little balls. So while that's cooking, let's take care of our tomato. Get rid of all that watery part. There. Hate to throw that out, but okay, so we just have the skin of it, because you don't want this dough we're making without flour to be wet. You want this to be dry. Peel your garlic. And now we get to dice and slice. Let's see. Let me come a little bit closer. That might help if you see what I'm doing on the cutting board. So bunch up your cilantro, sage, excuse me, and bunch it up carefully. Dice it into little pieces, like that. Get your oregano, dice it up, wet your fingers, get your garlic in there, and maybe turn that sideways. Get your tomato in there. Dice it. Now, see, tomato is really watery. You got to be careful with that. Get your onion in there. Turn it, or try to turn it. Chop it up. What I suggest to do is smash it and add it. So when we smash the yams, make this really. Now, if you don't want to add onion, don't add onion. If you don't want to add tomato, don't add tomato. If you don't want to add garlic, don't add garlic. It's if you want to leave all of this out, go ahead. If you want to add a little bit of cinnamon to it, go ahead. It's like you can add whatever you like. If you want to make these little suckers yam, you want to make them hotter than Hades, add some pepper, add a jalapeno. So there we go. And like I said before, when you're chopping, always push things into a square so they don't fall off as you're chopping. They don't fall off your cutting board. So we got that chopped. Okay. And that's starting to come to a boil. And I will be back. This will be really quick. So again, you want to take your knife, if you can find a knife. And I have, oh, there it is. Take your knife. My God, you are just having a panic attack. And it's not going all the way through right now. So stick it in. When it goes through, it's gonna feel a little tough, but it should slide through. So just keep on watching it because you do not. Now see, that one just went through, but it's cut into a little bit smaller. Check the big pieces. That's what you want to check. So just check them. Okay, and I will be back. Toodle. Well, no, not toodles. Oh, cut the show short. Okay, I'll be back. Bye.